Hey everybody! In case you're not sure where you are, I'm Kathy Hester and you're in my kitchen. Yay! It is my messy kitchen and I'm here to visit with you and see how you're doing today. Um, when you come on, say hi, let me know you're here, tell me where you're from, all kinds of things like that. It'll be very exciting for all of us, especially me. Today is actually cloudy. Yesterday it was very hot the past few days, and I think the high today is 56. And here I'll see if you can kind of see it's more cloudy down there. But do please tell me who you are, how you're doing, what's going on in your life right now. How is the new normal treating you? I know yesterday I came on and we just had a long chat in general, and I thought we'd have some tea. And also, in case you were really wanting this mug, this is the Vegan Potter. And actually, I will look up her stuff and put it in here real quick because I just think she's great. And she does so many neat little things. And it actually is theveganpotter.com. So let me get there, and I'll put that in our comments. She just does the coolest things. And Elizabeth is catching me live again. And Marilyn said, thanks for an advance notice. I'm trying. Lots of things are very interesting for all of us. In Louisiana today, it's only 70, so this is not the only place the temperature is changing a little bit, so that's good. And I see there's quite a few on. So Elizabeth, why don't you tell me how you're doing? Anything new happening? And same thing, Marilyn. How are you guys able to have access to good, healthy foods? I don't know what was up with me today. Maybe it just seems earlier because it's so dark and cloudy. But I was like a half an hour ago, I was just so hungry. I'd eaten a banana. I ate an apple. I made some avocado toast. So now finally I'm full and drinking a little coffee. My one allotted caffeine beverage for the day, because yesterday I had two and it was not good for me. My nerves got a little bit, and I don't know about you guys, but the last thing I need is to be a little more on edge. I'm also hopeful today with the cloudiness that we're going to get some rain that will wash off some of this horrible pollen. And Max has snuck up. So I think I'm going to try and put on my my microphone to see if that doesn't help a little bit, because right now he's being good, but he may not stay good. Hi, Miss Brenda. Good morning. High 40s in Walla Walla, Washington, and snow on the hills. That would be really pretty. Like right now, it almost looks like a dusting of snow where I am, only it's yellow, which is not so nice. Elizabeth says she's got good food, but she's bored with choices. Potato salad, avocado, hummus, veggies. That doesn't sound so boring, my friend. And it's figuring out how to do work from home. But she did batch some salad. So all those sound like really good, awesome, positive things. This week, we've been making meals. I mean, this week, because today's day 2 this week. So yesterday, we had potatoes with burger crumbles on top of them. I had some Dr. Prager's beet burgers, which were pretty good because we are kind of dipping into the freezer. And a lot of times, just because I do vegan cooking, for my living, if I see something new, I want to try it. So we have a lot of that stuff in the freezer to pull out. So we had super lazy dinner last night. Marilyn said we've stopped getting fresh produce delivered. Working through her stash. Okay, good. Things are getting serious in Louisiana. My daughter doesn't want me to have anything delivered that can't sit outside for 3 days. And I can understand that too. There's a lot of information going around right now on packages and how to clean things and how Maxie, they say hello to you, baby. They say hello. Maxie's lonely and he misses you. He's stuck here with his mommy, who's not giving him what he wants. But I will say this. So first, let me state that I am not an expert on any of this, right? I am not a doctor. I am not a scientist. I do have a friend that's a scientist, and I have friends that are nurses. But what we've been doing is if we get a package, Cheryl has been putting on gloves and wiping it down with, because we have some disinfectant wipes, and letting it sit for a while. We've also started unboxing anything except for Misfit Market, which I'm bringing in to show you guys. We unbox it outside and immediately just put the cardboard in the recycling and all that. Then we use a different disinfecting wipe to wipe the packages or any groceries that we have that are coming in or being delivered. And then we take the gloves off and wash our hands. And I think gloves may change twice if we're doing a box and the groceries. And Elizabeth says she doesn't spice up her groceries enough, or spice up her meals enough. Well, and I know you've got lots of spices. And Elizabeth actually lives near me. So if you need me to leave out some spices, I have my spice drawer that's giant and full of things, and then I have backup spices up in the pantry. So if you need something, let me know, and I'll put together a care package for you. And Brenda's saying she's making a stir fry tonight. She's trying to use up fresh things before she hits the bulk storage and freezer, and that's a very good idea. I will tell you my very, very naughty way of using some things in the freezer. So sometimes I am guilty of letting produce get freezer burned in the freezer in their little bags. And if it's something like green beans and they look slightly, I don't know, freezer burnt, I like to think freeze dried. I think that's just a matter of attitude. But if you put them in a soup or something like that, they kind of rehydrate. So that might be a way, if you're getting down to the bottom of your freezer that you haven't seen in a long, long time, that might be something that you can do as well. And Elizabeth said she just needs to use what she has. Okay, well, and you guys let me know, because I got plenty. I promise you. Marilyn said we're having butter lettuce wraps with refried beans, avocados, and tomatoes, sweet potato carob brownies for dessert. Yum! That's all I have to say to you. And her daughter works in a hospital lab, and her granddaughter is a hospice nurse. They're super conservative, as my husband has very compromised health. And please don't hear me talking about how we're dealing with our packages. Don't let that appear that I'm trying to talk to you into getting packages or things like that. I'm getting asked that a lot, so I'm trying to keep up on the research, but the research that I'm finding is changing every day. But if you're compromised, the first things first is stay as safe, healthy, and quarantined as you can, really, right? And especially if you have a compromised immune system or if you have some other issues. I support you in that wholeheartedly. And Marilyn, it sounds like you're eating like a dream. So that's amazing. And Brandy says, good morning. I guess it is afternoon. It feels like morning. At some point it'll hit me that, oh no, I haven't done all these things I wanted to do, but it hasn't hit me yet. And Brenda says, going to Marilyn's house, all of us. Marilyn, when this is all over, I think we have to have a little group gathering and try these tacos. That's all I got to say. Or maybe I'll do a live interview show. And if you can call in on Skype, we can watch you make them. It'll be just like we're eating them there with you. And Elizabeth says yum too. And again, I see more people are joining. Say hi. Let me know where you are, what the weather's like, how you're doing. Can you get fresh food? Are you eating okay? One thing that can be really helpful too if you're having, oh, and Brenda says, where do you see the comment from Brandy? I just see it come up so I use a program usually. I didn't a couple of times. I've been going straight on Facebook, but I use this extra program called Ecamm. And that's how I do my live classes. And like when I'm doing the demos, it means I could change cameras and I can use all that. So I'm seeing all that pull in. I think it may be pulling in because what happens is I share it on Plant-Based Instant Pot Facebook page from Ecamm. Then I go in Facebook and I share that out to other groups and pages and such. And Brandy's getting snow. I think I would like snow more than the yellow stuff that makes me sneeze. And I really do. I keep meaning to post a picture. I'll see if I may have taken a picture of the car, but like, even if you just look at it on the deck, everything's covered as if it was a dusting of snow, but it's a dusting of bright yellow from the pollen in the trees. And Marilyn says, my daughter says we are considered to have a clean house now since we have been sheltering in place without visitors for more than 2 weeks. Okay, good. Good. Yeah, and I don't know about where you guys are, but they've had to close down like state parks and a lot of hiking trails because people weren't actually doing the proper distancing. And some families are bringing their children to playgrounds with other children and not wiping things down before or after. And, everybody decides what they're going to do. I know Brandy has been talking a little bit too about her neighbors having a lot of people over. And it can be lonely during this time. I will say when I'm taking my walks, I'm really kind of running into neighbors and other people taking walks. We are like 10 feet apart on the other side of the street saying hello. But it is kind of nice to see people. Another thing me and my friends have been doing, and I think other people are doing this too, is we have a cocktail night on Friday night where a bunch of us get together on Zoom and everybody gets to be on video and we're just chatting. And you can have a cocktail or tea or whatever you want. Just like today I called this tea time. I'm having coffee. You could have water. I will still love you just as much. But those are some things to do. And we're actually having, I think it's this Thursday, we're actually having a virtual dinner party with a few people. So basically we're just going to set up the computer on, on the table. Last time, because like the way this is, like, see, there could be a whole other space for Cheryl, and we can do that. And so that's another way, because we think we miss being in physical contact with people, but I think what we really miss is having that interaction and just banter. And I think that that's very helpful. And let's see, Brenda says she's on Plant-Based Instant Pot now. Then I think that Brandy's probably on another page, and that's where she's commenting. And Brandy was saying there were about 5 people at the park the other day. They put caution tape around the equipment, but not the basketball hoops. And it's kind of a shame that people aren't paying attention, because it's not even as much about if we get it, though I'm kind of on the cusp of, I turn 55 next month, but I don't really have any of the other underlying health issues that are such a warning sign. However, I also don't want to get it so that I don't pass it on to someone else. And I think that that's what we're having a problem with. And I think it seems like in the past couple of years, the world in general, not so much our community. Our community is nice and kind and helpful, and it makes all the difference in the world to me. But it seems like the world has gotten a little less thoughtful and a little less kind. And I know that I'm probably officially an old person for saying that, because what old person hasn't said that, right? In their times. I don't know why I'm so itchy. So, seeing this, that's the one thing that's very disheartening to me, is that people aren't thinking about how it's going to affect other people. They're just thinking about themselves. As far as these people who are at the parks, who are having large parties, who are having housefuls of people. And, there are a few other places that I'm not so thrilled with right now. And you've all read about them in the news. But on the other hand, it makes me feel good when I see a neighbor and I can say, how are you doing? We live here, if I haven't met them, because I'm seeing people I never saw in the past 8 years, for sure, because everybody's at home now, and to let them know where I am and that I have a really full pantry, and if something happens, to let me know, and if we can help them, that we will. So I feel like the only thing I can do to offset these people who are being so inconsiderate and selfish is to try and open up and be kind, consciously be kind, consciously help in ways that I'm able to that won't overtax me, right? I can't go to the grocery store for everyone, but I can let, my best friend use my Instacart account. So there's some things like that you kind of have to weigh and see. Because I feel like yesterday for me, I was trying to spread myself a little bit too thin, and I have to be careful with that. I'm trying to plan new cooking classes and some surprises for you guys, and talk to Kathy's cooking club people. I'm also teaching a live video class that's kind of a small, intense class. And I'm taking another class that's specifically on the software that I use. So that's in addition to me working on an oil-free book or doing these lives every day. And I'm not trying to make you feel sorry for me in any way, shape, or form. It's just sometimes I think, oh, I've not done anything. And then I start getting panicked that I haven't done anything. I don't know if this happens to you guys. And then when I sit and I look at all the things I'm doing, I'm like, nah, I'm doing some stuff. It's okay. I don't have to. I don't want anyone to feel the pressure to write the great American novel or to make the best meals you've ever had in your life 3 times a day till this is over. Be kind to yourself too, right? And so let's go back. And now that I've had my rant, and thank you all for participating and listening to me. Diane says hello from Brooklyn. I always enjoy watching and hearing from you. Good, thank you. And she's staying safe in Brooklyn where it's chilly and gray. And she has lots of Rancho Gordo beans on hand and steel cut oats. Then you are set, my friend. Yeah, and actually tomorrow I have the last Bean Club shipment, which was for several months ago. I haven't opened it yet. And so maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Maybe we'll do a box opening. And Brandy said, some people think it's no worse than the average flu. And there is a lot of misinformation out there. And that also breaks my heart. And even all you have to do is find a friend of a friend of a friend that's working as a nurse or a doctor right now and let them tell you what they really think if you don't believe it. And I don't know what else you can do. That's what got Cheryl's parents in on it. And Becky was saying, so sweet to offer from your pantry. Well, I got a big pantry. And I actually had, what are those pantry moths we got last year? So far, we're pretty good. So actually, I lost a lot of things, but I still have enough to feed an army for sure. And oh, good, Marilyn, I'm glad you like the idea of an oil-free book because I'm working on it. It's going to be an ebook. It is not going to be, and I'm going to self-publish it. There may be some extras added in, like some videos or something like that. I'm still deciding. I do have some people testing some of the recipes, but I could use a couple more testers. So if you're interested in testing recipes, which means they may not be perfect yet. So know that in these times. Also, it's going to call for some stuff that you may not have right now, and we can work on substitutions together because that's something I'm always looking to do more of. But if you would like to be a recipe tester, email me at kathyhester@gmail.com with the subject recipe tester so I can find it. And Brady said I'm too hard on myself, and we can all be hard on ourselves. Absolutely. Well, there's part of me, I'm like, I'm never off work. Just know that too. So I do my classes, I teach classes, I do blogs, I do the lives, I do a lot of different things. And now I'm also teaching other people how to do live video. So, and I love doing all of it, but that doesn't make it take any less time out of your day, if that makes sense. And let's see where we Anita said she's relaxed at home. Good for you. Stay cozy. And Cindy says it's chilly and gray there too. And Jackie said, I'm late but here, and that's all that matters. And we give you a virtual hug. And Cindy is interested in testing. So again, if you're interested in helping me test for this book or any future books, just send me an email with recipe tester or I want to recipe test in the subject and at kathyhester@gmail.com. Yeah, pantry moths are the worst. So first we have an open layout, and over there is a door where there's this double closet. That's what my pantry is. And then it's my office with another closet past there. And they were all in there. So then we took everything out and moved it into the living room while we were cleaning all that up. So then they infested the living room and some of these cabinets back here. And I think we've won, or at least I haven't seen them come out in full force yet. And Marilyn's interested. Elizabeth's interested in an ebook. Cindy says, sure. Aw, and Cindy says, we all love you, girl. You're an inspiration. Well, thank you, because sometimes I don't feel like it. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I work really hard and I find a lot of joy in hopefully helping you guys, making your cooking easier, right? And also, I find a lot of joy and comfort in this big community that we've created. And it's really been co-created by all of us. And if you aren't already in our free private Facebook group, Vegan Recipes, Cooking with Kathy Hester, I encourage you to come on, join in. You can ask questions. If I'm not there, if I am doing something else, lots of the members jump in and help too. So it's a really great, safe space to learn things. Oh, Anita. I don't even know that I can say this out loud. Let me try. I think I may have learned something in my class today that I took. I did, but I don't know how to make it, how it needs to. Anita, can you see your comment? But here we go. Let's move this guy down. There we go. I can't say that out loud, but thank you. That is so sweet. Oh my gosh. Oh, and thank you, Diane. That's very sweet. Here, I'll see if I can put up some more people's comments. I just learned how to do this. I'm so excited. And there's Becky. I wonder if I just click on another one if it comes up. It does. You guys, we're all learning together today. Certainly, I'm the silliest person you will watch all day. It has to be, right? Okay. Now I feel like this is right above my head, just I'm thinking them out loud. And then Brenda says, oil-free book, yay. Diane, oh my God, this is so awesome. And let me find, here we go. Make sure everybody gets up here. And I'll see if I can go all the way back to Maryland's, here, Rancho Gordo. And is anybody else in the Bean Club? And how do you like it? I like the Bean Club. And again, I will do an unpacking tomorrow on the Bean Club since I have it. And I wanted to find Maryland's really quick. Here we go. First, what a cute baby. I'm assuming that's your grandbaby. And so those of you who came in later, Doesn't this sound delicious? Butter lettuce wraps with refried beans, avocados, and tomatoes with sweet potato carrot brownies for dessert. Yum. Okay, now let's go back down here. And Brenda's like, that's so cool. I know, it's been here all this time. So I've been using this program for a really long time, but I know in taking a class where you're just concentrating on a program, and I'm not necessarily going, ooh, how can I make this happen? So I've already done something really good. Excuse me. I don't know what that was. Yes, and we do need silliness. Thank God, because I got lots of it. And Anita is just so sweet. And yes, Anita, I'm sure we would be hanging out, or at least right now walking across the street from each other. And you have been so sweet and supportive, and I really, really appreciate you. And Marilyn says it's her grandbaby. 10 grandchildren and 11 great-grandbaby. We have 10 grandchildren and 11 great-grandchildren. Wow. That is amazing. I have a cat and a dog right now, and Cheryl, which is plenty. I don't think I could handle all of those people. Or I couldn't wrangle them. I guess that's a better word for it, wrangle. I could handle it. I would hope I could handle it. Marilyn, you are pretty amazing, making delicious food, taking care of all those people, and making sure to stay safe at home. And please know that all of you guys, I know that we're kind of preaching to the choir, but just know how much I appreciate you guys, self-quarantining as you can, or and just really trying to take care of yourselves and other people as much as you can. And sometimes just not going out is taking care of other people too, in this special, special time that we're in. And Brandy has 2 kids, and yeah, I think it's amazing what you're doing too. And Brandy, you're such a help, and you volunteer to do so many wonderful things for me, and I really, really appreciate it. And I don't know how you do it with 2 kids and working. I really don't. And Carol says she loves the beans, and she ordered a bunch prior to the stress time, ordered another batch that will arrive in May. And Steve Sando is a wonderful person to support, and that's who's behind Rancho Gordo. He's a really nice man, and I just think it's kind of awesome. I'm trying to see, can I make the background different? Yes. Okay, that's better. Now you guys can see it wherever. Okay. And anybody else have any questions or answers today? Oh, Cindy, that's so sweet. And Cindy said she wonders if I realize how much bringing us all together means and helps all of us. It is my goal to try and do what I can. And this is something I can do, is just come hang out. And it helps me too. My friend who's also a blogger, Pastry Chef Online is her blog. It's not vegan, but she does some vegan things for me sometimes. But she's been reading children's books. And so whenever she starts feeling like, I don't want to do anything else, or I think I'm just going to go lay in bed or whatever, she goes online and reads to people. And she also did this brilliant live that made me so happy. I think she did one of those blended coffee recipes long before I guess it became popular on TikTok recently. And she did a video in her bathrobe, and it just made me giddy happy. So we're all helping for sure. And Brenda said she used to live in Napa Valley, where Rancho Gordo is. One day, I'm going to go to Rancho Gordo. I am also going to go to the Moosewood restaurant. Those are 2 big things. I've heard Moosewood isn't that big a deal, but I learned how to cook from Molly Casson cookbooks, so it's really special for me. And they're just as wonderful in person and so knowledgeable about everything heirloom beans. And I have talked to Steve several times. And when I did my bean book years ago, the Great Vegan Bean Book, I contacted him, not knowing him, asking if I could do some postcards about my book with a recipe and brand the recipe for the Rancho Gordo beans. And he let me do that. So we sent out hundreds of those postcards through him. And it was a very kind gesture that I'll never forget. And it really did, it helped me a lot. Yeah, Jenny is amazing too. And she has an upbeat way of looking at things. And she is so generous with her time on lives. It's really, really great. So if you don't mind seeing some meaty things, because she is going to do that. So I just want you to understand. But she is a warm-hearted, supporting person, and she's my blogger wife. That's what we call, like you have work wives or work husbands, right? Someone when you go to work who's you confide in and who tells you to make sure to wash your hands, or did you eat lunch today? Well, Jenny and I do that for each other, and we also, sometimes we have virtual work sessions, or we'll go to a coffee shop and work together, which is really fun. Giddy happy. A new and lovely phrase. I like that. Who knows what's going to pop out of my mouth? And Marilyn said she loves Moosewood, and she has most of their cookbooks. And yeah, so I didn't know how to cook when I became vegetarian when I was 18 years old. I don't know if you guys know this story or not. Usually when I do interviews, I'm always like, back in the days when I became vegetarian, you couldn't buy tofu at the grocery store. And so I know they think I'm like 800 years old. All the millennials are just like rolling their eyes going, what do you mean you couldn't order that from Amazon? But I just poured over it. And Moosewood and the Enchanted Broccoli Forest changed my entire life. And while I'm friends with Molly Katzen on Facebook, I've still never told her. I just kind of silently stalk her, and instead of saying, hey, you've really been my mentor this whole time, and that should go on my to-do list for this month, or for April. Yeah, I like what Brandy says. So we're talking again about Jenny Field from Pastry Chef Online, and she said just veganize it in your head. That's what she does. And honestly, Jenny and I can still throw recipe ideas off of each other, even though she may be using meat for hers and I'm using jackfruit for mine. So it is a really nice way if you're okay with thinking that way, because it allows you to get more ideas. So even when I'm recipe developing or looking for things, a lot of times I will still look through meaty recipes, not to duplicate them per se, but sometimes there's some fashions or trends that may be happening in their world that isn't happening in the vegan world right now. So that's something else that's kind of interesting. And Cindy said kindness breeds kindness, and I agree with that completely. All it takes is just being a little kind, and everything just multiplies. Oh, Jenny just got here. Hello, Jenny. If you hear us talking really sweet nothings about you. And I can't remember if you want to share your bathrobe video in the comments. That would be lovely. I've told people you're not a vegan blogger, so they're not expecting that from you, but that was lovely. Or if you would like to share one of your reading lives with them, that would also be great. We've just been talking all the wonderful things, and Cindy says, welcome, Jenny. And Jackie said, I watched Molly back on PBS back in the day as a teen and early 20s. I didn't know that she had a show. I got to find that on YouTube. I'm sure somebody's put it up there. And Jackie also says she watches all kinds of cooks to get ideas, which is, I think it's great. I mean, I also understand the people that are very tenderhearted and can't see it. So I'm okay, I'm okay with that too. And I'm okay with being the person who looks for some of those things instead. I can't take it when people post some of the scary things, and horrible things that happen to animals. I can't see that stuff. So I understand other people feel the same. Jenny says, first, she's got to watch me like a hawk, which is true. And then she was saying the coffee one. Yeah, I was thinking the coffee one, and I know that you're probably using milk in it, but I'm wondering, and this is a question to ask you, if maybe soy milk or full-fat coconut milk in a can might be able to be used, because you're actually using sugar and instant coffee. So again, we're not talking a whole food plant-based coffee like I might make for you, but it's this really cool whipped coffee that's become super popular. And so Jenny did it long before the TikTok video. That's all I gotta say. And yeah, so Jenny, are you feeling all the vegan love right now? Because you should. Okay. So, okay. And so Jenny is sharing in the comments her reading The Trumpet of the Swan. So that should be really nice and comforting. And I would definitely follow her to listen to her read and just hang out. And again, she may make some things that are meaty, but I attest that she has a good heart. And she also makes me vegan food when I come to her house, especially for me. Anybody else have anything you want to talk about? I know we just kind of I had my little rant about people need to be kind and think of other people, which again was preaching to the choir. So, right, because you guys are all practicing being kind and loving and helpful, and that also has to turn into yourself too. So don't forget, you need to drink your water, you need to eat your vegetables and fruits, and yes, Jenny, that means you too, and get enough sleep and get some sort of movement in the day. So if it's raining or snowing where you are, there's lots of things on YouTube for free yoga. The Levin JCC Center, which is the Jewish Community Center where I live and belong to, they're actually doing live group classes, several a day, which is brilliant. And so you might see if there's something like that that's happening near you. Okay, and Jenny's saying, any milk works, plant-based or other. Whip the instant coffee with sweetener of your choice and add a little hot water and top it off with the hot milk of your choice. And Jenny, I have this question for you. When you say sweetener of choice, would it work if you used monk fruit or stevia or maple syrup? I haven't made it. I bought the stuff to make it, but then the pantry moths got to it. But those pantry moths can crawl under sealed containers and get in there. They are truly the worst. They are the worst. But so I was wondering if it was the sugar with the instant coffee that made it get fluffy, but maybe it's not. And awesome. Cindy is going to send the link to her grandkids. And Jackie said best to follow Jenny on Facebook or YouTube. And Jenny, do you want to answer that? Because I think I would say Facebook, but you're trying to put more of your stuff on YouTube. So either way. And Jenny does say you can make it with monk fruit. So that would mean it would work for any of the sweeteners we might use. So that's awesome. I just wanted to double check that. So Jenny, if you could magically make some of the coffee appear, I would make it with you. But I think we should just watch Jenny make it and pretend that we are using a different milk. And Brandy said the phys eds teacher sent the kids activities for the week. Monday we have a dance party. Woo! And link to some YouTube videos. There's tons of free stuff. And here's the thing. And I know you guys have heard me talk about Sick to Fit, and that is a free Facebook group and a free ebook. So if you're feeling, it's Howard Jacobson, who does a lot with mindset, and Josh Lajani, who is an ultra marathon runner who's lost like a bazillion pounds. And they're both hilarious and friends of mine. So I find a lot of inspiration in that group. Howard is really amazing with mindset. So, and also they will often link to some different exercise things too. But the things they talk about is menu, mindset, and movement. So menu is what you put in your mouth. So we talk about that all the time because that's my thing. Mindset is with us trying to help as much as we can and be kind. That helps our mindset because then that helps set us up to be kinder and take better care of ourselves. But there are other ways like meditation or listening to Howard talk. He always amazes me whenever he talks, and I'm not easily amazed. So I'm Team Howard for sure. And then movement. And one of the things I've learned through Howard and Josh, and both of them are runners, right? Movement doesn't have to be running. It doesn't have to be walking. If I get off of here and it's raining, I can clean up my bathroom. I'd probably rather walk in the rain, but I can clean up my bathroom, right? I'm sure you have some project at home with you being there that you're putting off. I'm looking at mine over there in the corner. That I have a stack of stuff I need to go through. Well, while I don't want you to put pressure that, oh my God, I got to get all my stuff done while I'm at home, you just realize every day you should do some sort of movement for 20 to 30 minutes, right? That movement could be walking around the house. It could be cleaning your bathroom. It could be moving boxes from one room to another or doing laundry, doing yard work. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do, okay? And let's see. And Jeannie's talking about the coffee again. The sugar is best, but if you have a stick frother thing, all bets are off. It whips up well regardless. And I think, I'm trying to see, I may have to look harder for it than here. I'm right in front of my big drawer of things. I think I had something that was doing that you can just whip it up like that. And Jenny posted the link to that coffee video, and Cindy says thanks. It's a fun thing to do, I think. And Brandy's saying a healthy mindset is very important now, and it is. If you tend towards depression and or anxiety, now can be a little bit harder than some other times have been. And that's one of the things that this 1 o'clock session helps me, is that I have to show up. I have to be here, right? And so that gives those voices that might be like, oh, we'll just go to bed, or oh, nothing really matters, right? Or any of this negative self-talk that may happen. I have some place to be and I have to do it. And then as soon as I'm on, I see all of you beautiful people and I'm just thrilled to be here with you. And Marilyn says she wears a Fitbit and gets between 4,000 and 5,000 steps most days. And you're staying inside, I believe. So that's amazing. And it's true. That's a perfect thing. You can even though your iPhone or phone may not be as accurate as like a Fitbit or something, you can also still have that in your pocket to just give you a guesstimation. It's usually under, is what Howard has told me. And let's see. Brandy said she had all the plans to organize these past 2 weeks. It was good in theory, but I should get it all done. The forest animals refuse to do it for me. I know, and I feed my chipmunks. I think those chipmunks owe me. I don't know about you, but instead, actually, when I was taking a walk, evidently one of them, so that way, there's a door that leads to a little ledge and some stairs because it's a split level. And I have that door open a lot of the time when the weather is nice. We have screens. So Cheryl said while I was out doing some stuff, doing a walk or whatever, a chipmunk was coming into the house. So maybe she stopped it from doing the thing that it was gonna magically make everything better. And Marilyn has a backyard also, and she's trying to avoid the pollen. And yeah, it can be a little bit rough. And Cindy said that's how we feel seeing you, and that I appreciate that very much. Yeah, they owe me because I give them some good stuff too. They always get they get yummy peels and things like that, but I give them some extra, and I get in trouble from Cheryl for leaving so much stuff out in the yard. Though I have a plan, and it's probably not going to work. But just so all of you gardeners know that I know that this probably isn't going to work. But some of the winter squash that didn't keep so well is actually in the front yard, kind of disintegrating. And it's my hope that I will have vines and vines in the front yard growing me food. But we'll see how that helps or not. Okay, guys, I think if you have any questions for me, does anybody have any food questions or anything like that? Also, if you're not already on Vegan Recipes Cooking with Kathy Hester on Facebook group, please join. And if you haven't answered my questions about what classes should I teach, I'd really love some ideas. I'm trying to plan out some more. Hopefully I'll have classes up by tomorrow. I think tomorrow is the 1st. So I guess that would be me doing it in a timely fashion. if we think about what I've done in the past. But anyhow, I wanted to check in, send you lots of love and kindness, and know that I'm thinking about you and I'm rooting for you in both staying healthy and getting through these weird times and meeting your goals. If your goals are eating healthier or losing weight, whatever it is, it doesn't matter to me. I just, let me know if there's a way I can help you, or especially when it comes to recipes and changing them so they fit into your dietary limitations and needs, right? So I think that's all for today. And it was lovely, as always. And I will see you guys tomorrow, okay? Be kind to yourself.